is involved, the United Kingdom is involved, Turkey, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Israel is involved. You can't say that Assad killed 70,000 people. What do you have to say about the people who Israel killed today in their air raid? What mistake did they do? That they worked for the Syrian military? That they were carrying out their day-to-day jobs? They killed them today in an air raid.
Let me let
just
Mr.
because
Kaplan
Israel can do it, because it has the support of the United States of America.
Israel killed 300 of the 501st Division of the Syrian Army, which handles chemical weapons disbursement in the Syrian Army. That's who they killed.
The 1st Division of the Syrian Army is an armored division. Don't say things that are not true. The 1st Division of the Syrian Army is an armored division.
The Assad regime going back to his father.
Even whatever the Syrian Army formations are doing, it's not Israel's right to carry out any acts of killing against Syrian soldiers. Let's bear in mind, Israel is killing civilians. It's killed over 1,000 in Lebanon, over 1,000 in Gaza, and for what? Just for hegemony, just to prove it has power and leverage over other people. So don't come lecture at us to say who's killing innocents. It's Israel who's killing innocents. Who is a genocidal murderer is Israel, and the people supporting them, like Obama, like the American administration, are killing Syrians day in, day out by sending chemical weapons and chemical elements to insurgents, to use them against Syrian soldiers, to use them against civilians, to use them in ethnic cleansing that they are carrying out. Shiite towns have been displaced. Thousands of Shiites have been killed in Syria simply because they don't support the rebels. What do you have to say about that? Two
Mr.
towns
Kaplan,
in northern Syria.
let's give Mr. Kaplan a chance to answer.
I'll be glad to say. I'll be glad to address it if you let me talk.
Because Turkey is supplying the rebels with arms to carry on with this siege. Don't come lecture at us at genocide, at human rights, please.
Okay,
please don't
Mr.
do
Abraham,
this.
stay with me, please. Go ahead, Mr. Kaplan.
Okay, well, number one, let me point out something. His tirades there are an example of what goes on in a dictatorship. The other side isn't allowed to speak. Now, let me say this. The Assad regime, and it's going back to his father also, who murdered 30,000 Syrians in Hama who were in opposition to him. And he's killed, as I said, 70,000 in Syria. And one of the things that was fascinating to me is when we started this broadcast, somebody said that Israel was aligned with Al-Qaeda, which is... You're interrupting me again. You're interrupting me again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You can't interrupt me.
Just give him a chance to talk. Give him a chance to finish, and I'll give you a chance to respond. Go ahead, Mr. Kaplan.
I will interrupt you.
All right.
You can't accuse us of being genocidal maniacs, but just because you like it, and then you think you can get away with it.
Me because he does not. He will interrupt me because he doesn't want the truth about this. The fact is that the Assad regime has been bringing in forces from Hezbollah.
Because you're misinformed and
you're doing it again.
Okay, we're going to take a break from both of you. I want to turn everyone, both of you, hold off for a second. Let me switch off. Everyone calm down. Let's look at our Facebook comments, and then we'll be right back.
These Israeli attacks on Syria have made it very clear what the scenario is against Damascus. Israel is fighting on the same side of Al-Qaeda, Turkey, Qatar and Saudi Arabia. It is a fight for the people of Syria. It is a fight to destroy Syria in revenge for its firm stance for resistance against the Israeli occupation. I wonder what the Arab League response will be. Will they decide to send arms to Syria to help the Syrian government against Israel? Where are the clerics who issued fatwas for jihad against the Syrian government? Have they issued any fatwa against Israel? Mr. Ban Ki-moon, wake up. Israel has attacked an independent country by missiles. Don't you consider this an act of aggression and a threat to peace and stability in the world? Would you keep silent if a missile from Syria, Lebanon or Gaza hit a military post of the Israeli occupiers?
All right, well, let me start back off with you, Mr. Kaplan. Looking at the situation as far as our comments from our viewers, let's look at the situation that Israel is allowed to cross over a border, go in and attack a sovereign nation. Do you think that it will be condemned internationally, for example, by the United Nations? We've already seen the Arab League coming down hard on it. How likely, though, are we to see the Security Council or the United Nations in general condemning this act?
Do I think they will be condemned by Arab states that are dictatorships
no,
like
I asked you
like
about
Syria
the United Nations, sir. That's the question.
Well, let me finish what I have to say here. Okay, well, first of all, they're not being condemned by countries which are democracies and promote ending dictatorships like that of Bashar Assad. The United States, the UK, France, they are all on the side of Israel, and they have all said that Israel is acting in self-defense. So the question is, if Assad brings in Hezbollah troops and he brings in special missiles to shoot into Tel Aviv, and if he's bringing in Basiji militia to line up on Israel's border, and they're in a position to attack the Jewish state, and Israel needs, in the interest of self-defense, to take out their chemical weapons and to also protect itself, obviously, the Western countries, the democracies, feel that they're justified.
Well, sir, you've used conditional tense. You have used conditional tense. You've used conditional tense if. You've used conditional tense if about Hezbollah, about the Iranian Basij. However, we know for a fact that Israel has actually bombed the Syrian nation. Under international law that a country or an entity is allowed basically to bomb a country at will?
Well, let's take that as an example. For Syria, for many years, has been the home-based turf for Hamas, which has bombed and murdered Israeli citizens in terrorist attacks.
Please do not get off the subject. Please answer my question.
I'm not off the subject. I'm not off the subject. If Syria was providing a home base for Khaled Mashal in Damascus for terrorist attacks inside Israel, what's the difference to you? The Israelis, of course, didn't attack in self-defense Syria because it was a sovereign nation. But now they're in a position where Hezbollah is not only facing them from Lebanon, they're facing them from Syria too, and they're also bringing in weapons and troops from Iran. So come on, let's be reasonable here.
Okay.
I mean, we can spin it as much as we want, but the fact of the matter is, the real answer to this is Bashar Assad to go.
All right, let me turn back to Mr. Ibrahim in Damascus. Sir, your take on what our guest has just said out of Berkeley, California, that basically this is Israel reacting in response to what has taken place on the ground from Hezbollah, allegedly Hezbollah and Iran.
Obviously, your guest is greatly misinformed and tends to use generalization all the time. He called all the Arab nations dictatorships. What does he have to say about Egypt, Tunisia, Libya, countries that went on uprising for democracy? Egypt, the country that held elections recently and had a democratically elected president, even the United States of America would acknowledge this, condemned this air raid. So it's not only the dictatorships that are supporting the Syrian government.
States. They are
Islamic. He's a democratically elected president. It's a democratically elected government.
That's right.
I'll tell you something. Generalization is not true. You can't generalize this and call all the Arab nations dictatorships. This is not very respectful to the Arab nations, because not all Arabs live under dictatorships, and this is not very decent, not very true.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Abraham, please. Let's stay on track. Please stay on the subject. Go ahead, continue with what you were saying.
I would dare you to tell the truth for once in your life. Obviously, you have absolutely no idea what you're talking.
I would like to see.
Mr. Abraham, I want your comment on my question.
I think you live in your own la-la land. Anyway, this is not the subject. This is a violation of international law. No matter how much you try to spin it, this is a violation of international law. Neither Israel, nor the United States of America, nor the United Kingdom, nor France, nor any other country on the face of earth has the right to intervene in the internal affairs of any other sovereign nation. The United Nations Charter said this very openly. So no country has the right to intervene in other countries. If they have a problem with Assad, as you say, why are they bombing the Syrian army?
Well, I want to look at the alliance. I want to look at the alliance right now that we have. Please, Mr. Abraham and Mr. Gaba, I want to look at the alliance. Mr. Abraham, stay with me. The alliance right now with Al-Qaeda and Israel, exactly what does this mean? Your take first, Mr. Abraham, and then I'll give you a chance, Mr. Kaplan.
Can you come again? Can you come again?
The alliance now between Al-Qaeda, Al-Nusra Front, and Israel.
This is not a new alignment. This is not a new alliance, between Al-Qaeda and radical Islamic movements and Israel. After all, radical religious movements explain and justify each other. Let's bear in mind that in Afghanistan, when the United States of America decided to support the Mujahideen against the Soviet Union, they turned to Israel to buy weapons from and supply them to the Mujahideen, who in turn became Al-Qaeda and bombed the United States in 9/11. They're doing the same scenario here. They think they can exploit those radical Islamic forces and then get rid of them when things are over. But this is not the case. This won't happen here. Syria is a secular country. These Islamic forces don't stand a chance in this country. Every Syrian will tell you that we will fight radical Islamic tendencies with all what we have, whether we are with or against this government.
Okay.
And this is something that I think we should all understand. This is not a new alignment. For all its life, right, Israel has been aligned with many terrorist organizations.
Yes, go ahead. Let me let Mr. Kaplan in on this. Go ahead, Mr. Kaplan, your take.
There is no alliance between Al-Qaeda and Israel. The Free Syrian Army that's fighting does have some Al-Qaeda factions. However, the majority of the Free Syrian Army is trying to separate itself from Al-Qaeda. As far as Al-Qaeda goes, Al-Qaeda, of course, was allied and is allied with Hamas. It was founded by a Palestinian, actually, Abdullah Azzam, and they had their headquarters in Syria for all the years, and the Syrians were helping Hamas and Al-Qaeda against Israel. So to make an idiotic, ridiculous statement that Israel is allied with Al-Qaeda is nonsense.
Al-Qaeda has never carried out attacks against Israel.
There he goes. There he goes. There he goes again. He loses the argument. He loses the argument because he has to yell and scream and shout over me. But these are the facts. These are the facts.
30 seconds, Mr. Kaplan.
Israel. I'll tell you.
30 seconds, Mr. Kaplan.
Now he's shouting again.
30 seconds, Mr. Kaplan. Go ahead, please.
I'm not shouting. Tell me one incident where Al-Qaeda attacked Israel.
Al-Qaeda has attacked Israel in the Gaza area, and there are factions of Al-Qaeda among the Hamas in Gaza which have also initiated attacks. Al-Qaeda also did attacks in Sinai from from Egypt, in Sinai.
Okay.
In which Al-Qaeda was shown to have been involved.
All right,
and the fact is that to say that Al-Qaeda is allied with Israel is ridiculous.
We're just about out of time. 30 seconds, sir. Mr. Ibrahim?
I can't hear you. I'm sorry. Can you come again?
30 seconds only. Well, 20 seconds now. Your closing remarks, sir. Respond.
I'll tell you one thing. This is a sovereign nation. No one has the right to intervene in Syria's internal affairs using any pretext. These are all lies. They don't have any right to intervene in Syria's internal affairs.
Dictatorship that has to go. Syria is a genocidal dictatorship run by a genocidal murderer.
He has to go. Sir,
has to go.
Okay, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Very lively discussion, but we are out of time. I thank both my guests out of Damascus, Mr. Ibrahim, Syrian journalist, and out of Berkeley, California, investigative journalist Lee Kaplan. Thank you for being with us, and thank you, viewers. Join us next time on The Next Debate. I'm Marzieh Hashemi, signing out for Press TV.